A warm welcome to all my lovely students. Today, in this video students, we will be doing the textual exercises of lesson 6, that is Seher Goes Stargazing. Students, in the previous video, I have done the summary and the detailed explanation of this lesson. So now, in this video, we will be doing the textual exercises of this lesson. So students, everyone place your book in front of you, and as I am telling the answers, please write down the answers in your English course book. So get ready students.
Students, get ready with your English course book, lesson 6, page number 61, Seher Goes Stargazing. In the previous videos, I have completed the summary and the explanation of this lesson. Today, it's time to do the textual exercises. And as I tell you the answer, students, you will see it and please note it down in your English course book. Let's start the exercises, students. Page number 63. The first exercise which we will be doing is about the passage. Understand and answer. Number A. Complete these sentences. Students, we have to complete these sentences from the story. Number 1. Sariska is a wildlife sanctuary. Students, please note down wildlife sanctuary. Number 1. Sariska is a wildlife sanctuary. Number 2. The dimly lit lodge was located just outside the sanctuary. So where was the dimly lit lodge located? It was located just outside the sanctuary. Number 3. Seher and her father wanted to closely watch the great bear, a consolation. Okay, Seher and her father wanted to closely watch the great bear. Number 4. To observe the stars closely, they needed a good telescope. To observe the stars closely, they needed a good telescope. Number 5. The first person to write about comets was Edmond Halley. Edmond Halley. Students, E will be in capital letter and H will be also in capital letter. Number 6. Scientists expect Halley's comet return after every 75 years. Here you can write even, students, the year as 2061. Scientists expect Halley's comets return after every 75 years, and here students you can mention is as 2061. 2061, you can write it here. So I am repeating these answers once again. Number 1, Sariska is a wildlife sanctuary. Number 2, the dimly lit lodge was located just outside the sanctuary. Number 3, Seher and her father wanted to closely watch the great bear. Number 4, to observe the stars closely, they needed a good telescope. Number 5, the first person to write about comets was Edmond Halley. Number 6, scientists expect Halley's comets return after every 75 years, and then in the bracket here we will be writing 2061, that is 2061. Students, page number 64. The first exercise which we will be doing is for phrasal verbs. Now the question is, what are phrasal verbs? It's written here, students. When a preposition or an adverb is added to the verb, it is called as phrasal verb. See the definition here, students. Phrasal verbs can be formed by adding a preposition or an adverb to a verb and its meaning is entirely different from the words which we have added to it. So keep in your mind, students, when a preposition or an adverb is added to a verb, it becomes a phrasal verb. The example is here. See the first sentence. Seher and her father set out to look at the great bear. Here the phrasal verb is set out. The next one. Seher set up the telescope. The phrasal verb set up. Now students, let us come to the exercise. Read these sentences. Match the highlighted phrasal verbs to their meanings that follow by numbering them as per the sentence. So here we have to number them. I have already done it. Let's see. Sentence number 1. Adya set aside some money for a trip to Manali. Here students, the word set aside means to keep something for future. So now let us find the meaning. Adya set aside some money for his trip to Manali. So the meaning is number D, put away for future use. So please write in the box number 1. Put away for future use. The second one, Rohini set on the burglar with a wooden pole. Rohini set on the burglar with a wooden pole. Here it means to attack. So the meaning is number C, to attack. So write number 2 in this box. Sentence number 3 now. The monsoons have set in quite early this year. Set in means to arrive. So here the meaning which goes with it is to begin and likely to continue. Here please write number 3 in the box. To begin and likely to continue. Now sentence number 4. We quickly packed our bags and set off for the railway station. Here the phrasal verb set off, it means to begin a journey. So the numbering is 4, 3, 2, 1. Now page number 65. Spell it right. Circle the correct spelling for these words from the story. So students, number 1, 3 spellings are given for the word century and the correct spelling is the third one. The correct spelling is the third one, Sanctuary. I am repeating, Sanctuary, century. The second, telescope. The second spelling is correct. Telescope. I am repeating, Telescope. For consolation, the second spelling is correct. Constellation. I am repeating, Constellation. Now number 4, magazine. Again the second one is correct. Magazine. Magazine. Number 5, artificial. The third one is correct. Artificial. Artificial. Number 7, astronomer. The third one is correct. Astronomer. Astronomer. And the last word, number 8, the first option is correct. Infinite. Infinite. N-I-T-E. Now students, let us come to the next exercise. Subject-verb agreement. It's a very important topic, students. Now what is subject? First, do remember what is subject. Here it is written, students. Just have a look. The subject tells us who or what we are speaking about in a sentence. Means, in short, we can say the subject is the person or the thing about whom we are speaking in the sentence. And what is predicate? The predicate tells us something about the subject. And what is verb? Verb is an action word. Verb is an action word and verb is a part of predicate, students. Do remember, verb is a part of predicate. So see the exercise now. Underline the subjects and circle the predicates in these sentences. The first one, Seher was interested in astronomy. Seher was interested in astronomy. Now about whom we are talking in this sentence? We are talking about Seher. So Seher is subject and was interested in astronomy, predicate. Was interested in astronomy, predicate. Now see sentence number 2. Seher and her father went to Sariska. Now again, about whom we are talking here in this sentence, students? We are talking about Seher and her father. So sentence number 2, the subject is Seher and her father. And predicate went to Sariska. Predicate went to Sariska. Sentence number 3, they are looking at stars there. We are talking about they. Subject is they. And predicate are looking at stars there. Are looking at stars there. Now sentence number 4, students. Sariska is a wildlife sanctuary. Sariska is a wildlife sanctuary. We are talking about Sariska. So the subject is Sariska and predicate is a wildlife sanctuary. Number 5. The lodge was located in a quiet place. We are talking about the lodge. So the lodge is subject. Was located in a quiet place is predicate. I am repeating these answers once again, students. Sentence number 1. Seher is subject. Was interested in astronomy, predicate. Sentence number 2. Seher and her father is subject. Went to Sariska, predicate. Sentence number 3. They are looking at stars there. Sentence number 3. They is subject. Are looking at stars there, predicate. Sentence number 4. Sariska is subject. Is a wildlife sanctuary, predicate. Sentence number 5. The lodge is subject. Was located in a quiet place, predicate. Page number 66, students. Subject-verb agreement. Now what does this mean? Subject-verb agreement. In simpler terms, we can say it means that subject and verb should go together. So, if the subject is singular, the verb should also be singular, and if the subject is plural, the verb should also be plural. Now, still there are some exceptions and rules here. Just have a look. We use singular verbs with numbers for money, weight, and distance. So, we use singular verbs with money, weight, and distance. Now, example is given here, students. 20 kilograms is a lot of gold. 20 kilograms is a lot of gold. Second, with uncountable nouns, we always use singular form. Like with the word milk, air, water, and rice, we use always singular forms. The air is clean here. Then I and you is always taken as plural. Like I have a red pen. You read sports magazine. And the fourth point, we use plural verbs with nouns that are always plural, like my trousers are torn. So keeping this rule in our mind, students, we are now going to do exercise B. Read this paragraph and write the correct verbs in the bracket. I have already done it. Write the correct verbs in the blank. I have already done this. So number B, I am reading the answers now along with the paragraph. Read this paragraph and write the correct verbs in the blanks. On a dark night, the sky, singular, the sky is lit up with hundreds of twinkling stars. You is taken as plural. If you are out in a desert or an open space away from the city lights, you might see thousands of them. Astronomers, it is plural S's here, so we will put have. Astronomers have studied stars for many years. They is plural, so have. They have found that there are many kinds of stars. A group of stars that forms a pattern is called a constellation. There are 88 recognized constellations. Have you heard of the Orion? It is the most clearly visible. I am reading it once again, students. On a dark night, the sky is lit up with hundreds of twinkling stars. If you are out in the desert or an open space away from the city lights, you might see thousands of them. Astronomers have studied stars for many years. They have found that there are many kinds of stars. A group of stars that forms a pattern is called a constellation. There are 88 recognized constellations. Have you heard of the Orion? It is the most clearly visible constellation. Page number 67. The next topic which we have is subject and object of the verb. Now a small recap. The subject of the verb is the doer of the action. That is the person or the thing who is doing the work or doing the action in the sentence. That is the person or the thing about whom we are speaking. So in short, the subject of a verb is the doer of the action. And what is object? The object of a verb is the person or the thing that receives the action or that is acted upon by the subject. So I am repeating it once again. Like object of a verb is the person or the thing that is acted upon by the subject. Now let us see the example here, students. The first one. The dad will drive the car. Now about whom we are talking in the sentence? We are talking about dad. So dad is subject. But what is the object here, students? That is, what will he drive? He will drive the car. So the object will be the car. Now let us see the exercise here, students. In this exercise, what we are supposed to do? We have to look at the underlined words and write S for the subject and O for the object of the verb. Now in the first sentence is, the astronomer gazed at the stars. So about whom we are talking in the sentence? We are talking about the astronomer. So here, students, astronomer will be subject. So we are talking about whom in the sentence? We are talking about the astronomer. So astronomer is subject here. Now sentence number 2. I walk my dog every day. Here the subject is I And with whom do I walk? I walk with my dog. So my dog is object here. My dog is object here. Sentence number 3. A young boy is playing the piano. Who is playing the piano? About whom we are talking in the sentence? It is a young boy. So here the young boy is subject. Sentence number 4. Has Maya eaten her food? So Maya is the subject here and Maya is eating. What is Maya eating? Food. So her food is object. Her food is object. Sentence number 5. She is visiting her father. She is subject and whom she is visiting? The verb is visiting and whom she is visiting? Her father. So father will be again object here. Father is object. Sentence number 6. This girl has won the first prize in the competition. About whom we are speaking in the sentence? We are speaking about a girl. So girl is subject. One is verb. And the first prize will be object. The first prize will be object. Now sentence number 7. The Khannas are moving all their furnitures. About whom we are talking? We are talking about Khannas. So it is subject. The doctor, number 8. The doctor advised him to rest for a few days. So about whom we are talking, students? We are talking about the doctor. So it will be subject. I am repeating it once again, students. Sentence exercise C. Sentence number 1, the astronomer is subject. Sentence number 2, my dog, object. Sentence number 3, a young boy, subject. Sentence number 4, her food, object. Sentence number 5, father, object. Sentence number 6, the first prize, object. Sentence number 7, the Khannas, subject. Sentence number 8, the doctor, subject. So students, with this we have come to the end of this textual exercises. Hope you all have completed and written all the works as I have dictated now. So in the next video I will be doing a new lesson. Till then, goodbye and take care.